Hey there, how you doing? Andy Whitehead here from recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. Today's session is going to be an outstanding session. So we're talking about how to get a 94% reply rate. So email is king, they say, and it can still be really, really cool. But we're actually talking about 94% reply rate with cold data. That means people actually don't know you, etc., etc., etc. So straight away, you got a little voice in your head now saying, Andy, you sound like you're bullshitting me. Your little voice saying that sounds absolute BS because I've never had emails perform like that. You got a little voice saying, listen, this English guy, he's talking absolute garbage. There's no way you can get those sort of results. So straight off, I'm going to take that head on. These results come from a podcast I mentioned 2, 3, 4 podcasts ago from a chap called Keith Southern in the UK. Runs Humonics, top man. But most of our clients get between 20 and 70% reply rates. So you heard that correctly, 20 to 70% reply rates. The average is sort of 30, 40, 50. But Keith holds the record at 94%. So we're going to talk about this, and hopefully I've taken your little voice head on. If the little voice is still going, yeah, whatever, cool. In that case, you need to be listening even further, because you're probably the person who sends out emails and with sorry to bother you and all whatever goes with that, and you get poor results. You've probably got no strategy. You've probably got no strategy at all towards your marketing, towards your inbound, towards your automation. You're probably a little bit old school, and maybe you've got a bit of hit and hope. So you have really good months, really bad months, and you've got these, well, you've probably got a bit of stress going on. And it's down more to luck than a predictable business. That's probably what's going on if you've got a little voice in your head. And it's not to in any way be disrespectful, it's to take it head on, which is what you should do. So most of you know me, you've been listening now for a long time. I'm a straight shooter. I hate bullshit and I hate bullshitters. But you can get 94% reply rates, and that's what is coming from this session today. So what you need to make it happen, what you probably want, is a system to make it happen. So we want to remove the unpredictability, the not knowing from recruitment. It's a scary, scary place. It's a scary place when you're not knowing what's going to happen next. So you want predictability. So the actual phrase that Keith used was turning the tap on and turning the tap off. So we've actually got a very short video, about 10 minutes. In fact, it's probably a little bit longer than that, thinking about, on our website. Or if you're not on a website, go and subscribe. Go and register. Enter your email address at our website, and you will get the session with Keith. And as he says, it's about turning the tap on, turning the tap off. So if you've got a system whereby you put 100 units in the front of it and you get 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or in this case 94 back, you've got something that gives you security, which is really cool. So how do we get that? So it breaks down into the following. So I want you to draw a triangle. Grab a pen and paper. So grab a pen and paper. I want you to draw a triangle. Cool, done that? Hopefully. So on one side, I want you to write the following: template. Write template. Second side, I want you to write tenacity. Underneath, on the bottom, write technology. So how do we get 94% reply rates? First one is this: templates. So the templates that we use, we test. So every time we create a new strategy, we test it for 2 to 3 months with 2 to 3 clients, sometimes 5 clients, until we got the conversion figures. So the templates you use in emailing, if you're going to email someone and you're send an email out to 10,000 people or 5,000 people, if you know it doesn't convert at a certain figure, why would you do that? So the first thing you do is test it. So test it and see what your conversion figures is. Sorry, conversion figures are. So what you want to be doing is sending out to, say, 100 people, see what the open rate is, see what the reply rate is. Test it again, tweak it, change the title, send it again. Do you get a higher open rate? Change one element of the actual email itself, you get a better reply rate. So when you split test, you only change one element, one piece of criteria, otherwise you confuse the split test. And for those who don't know what a split test is, effectively in this case it's sending out 2 emails, email A, email B, and seeing which one opens better, which is the highest open rate, and which one converts better, as in reply rate. So the first thing you must do is create the template and test them. That's the first part of getting a 94% reply rate. The 94% reply rate, by the way, from Keith was with candidates. But this applies to those for both clients and candidates. The second part is tenacity. What does that mean? So as always, most of you guys know me, I love frameworks, love a framework, I love a process, and that goes back to my digital strategy career when I worked in the city. So I'm all about frameworks and process and strategy. I like predictability. So Tenacity, templates, and technology, the 3 T's. So the second thing we're talking about, the second box we're talking about is Tenacity. What does that mean? Effectively, it means a follow-up. So with the ability to get a 94% reply rate, it includes the follow-up. So message 1 goes out, message 2, message 3, message 4. Now your little voice might be saying, oh, if you message someone 4 times, that's going to spam them. Yeah, it probably will be if you do it. It probably will be if you do it. When we write a template, we write as though we're talking one-to-one, like you're talking to a friend, not like you're talking to someone who runs a business or talking to someone who runs an HR department or someone who's looking for a new job. You talk to them one-to-one. So remember the first part, the templates drive the results. The second part is Tenacity, the follow-up. So we send between 4 and 5 follow-ups. And what that is again, it's template driven. So the first template has between 2 and 3 paragraphs. The following 3 to 4 templates have just 1 paragraph. Just 1 paragraph. So the Tenacity, the follow-up. Now the third component of 94% reply rate is the technology. So the first thing, obviously, you know who we are, you know what we do. Automation is king, so we use an automated process. Now the technology we use and the way we've created it, and we created it because we'll create the strategy because the marketplace changed, LinkedIn changed. We had to find a way of getting off LinkedIn and building up databases and building up all these cool things, but having an automated process to get inbound leads. So technology works really well. So it gets generally 100% deliverability. 100% deliverability. So if you mail someone through, say MailChimp or GetResponse or Constant Contact or any of these tools, you go through a third party, you go through someone else's server, which means when it goes to the inbox of your candidate or your client, it actually flags up, this is coming from ABC, it's coming from MailChimp. So you don't get that deliverability. What we do is we actually mimic, if you can actually visualize yourself, sat at your laptop and typing out email 1, typing away, then 4 minutes later, you type out email 2. It actually mimics you typing out an email one at a time, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 times. So you get 100% deliverability, which is awesome. It actually mimics you doing the hard work. So with the combination of the template, which is where we earn our bread and butter, we spend months testing our strategies until they convert, then we share them. Combination of the templates, the tenacity, and the technology, you've got a process that will give you 94% reply rates. Well, at least Keith has, but will definitely give you between 20 and 70% reply rates. So I'm not sure where you are now, but there's only 4 points of failure. So you want to write this down, you can create your own process. There's only 4 points of failure with email, and only 4 points of success with email. So the first one is this. Failure point number 1 is the data. Where is your data from? Where's that communication data from? Where's that contact information from? So the first point of failure is the data valid? Is it even the correct client, the correct candidate? Have you done your avatar process? But the first thing, the point of failure is the data. The second point of failure is it getting opened? So the title drives that. The third point of failure is the actual content. Are you getting a reply or are you getting a click, whatever your focus is? And the fourth is what happens after that, the actual conversion, so the conversation. There's 4 points of failure and 4 points of success with a email strategy, and all of you use email. Number 1, the data. Where is the data a point of failure or a point of success? Secondly, is it opening? Are you getting 100% open rate? Are you getting 1% open rate? The third is, are you getting a reply? That's your next failure point. And the fourth is the conversion. We've only got 4 points of failure. That's why we see businesses scale very quickly from, say, 10K a month to 100K a month, because we can break down every single step in the process very, very easily. Now, I've been doing this for 20 years now. So I can look just at metrics and understand very quickly what we need to either improve, i.e. improve the conversion, or what do we scale. So we work to 90-day plans. If a client comes to me and they show me their figures, I might look at the figures and say, right, we need to improve the conversion. Send me the template, let's tweak this. Or I might look at it and say, right, drop the other strategies we're using. Let's scale the living hell out of this strategy, because if we put 10 times the units into this and you're getting a 70-80% reply rate, and we're getting 10-20 appointments out the back of it and you're closing half of them, we've got something we can scale very quickly. This is why I see businesses scale inside my inner circle very, very quickly. This is why members stay with us for 3, 4, 5 years, because you're always going to be growing and there'll be different challenges in your business. We go through 5 phases inside the inner circle, which I might share on a future podcast. But for you to set up your own 94% system, you need 4 points of failure. The data, the open, the reply, the conversion. And that's it. Simple as that. Simple as that. So if you want me to look at your systems, or indeed you're thinking, I'm serious, and it's only if you are serious, if in any way you're, what's the word? If you're dabbling, I don't really like dabblers. Not I mean personally, but in terms of your business. It's your business. You've set up your business. Your family depend on it. If you're taking it seriously, then I'd love to hear from you. If you're serious about changing from outbound to inbound, if you're serious about moving from where you are now to doubling, trebling, quadrupling it, I'd love to speak to you. But if you're a dabbler, someone who they look at the next shiny object, the chances are in a year's time you won't have changed at all. I often get people say to me, can we meet for a coffee? Can we do this? Can we do this? The reality is I've now seen dabblers now for many, many years. What I'm interested in is helping serious agency owners double, treble, quadruple, 10x and more their businesses. And we become friends as part of the process. But as you just identified here, there's 4 steps here. So if you've not even written down those 4 steps, the chances are you're a dabbler. If you want me to go over them quickly, again, we've got the data, we've got the open, we've got the reply, and we've got the conversion point. 4 points of failure. So you can now look at your email strategy and you can identify now what's working and what's not working. Identify your point of failure, then improve the conversions. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up this session on email and how to get a 94% reply rate. And as always, I'm sorry if I've been very direct, but you guys know me, I'm a straight shooter. And it's about you getting results. And you don't want someone fluffing around and just saying everything's okay and you're doing awesome. No, you need someone to be direct with you. And there's 4 points of failure in your email marketing. But also, there's 4 points of success, which can massively scale your business in your email marketing. So we've got the templates, we've got the tenacity, the technology, and we've got 4 points of failure. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up this podcast. It's Andy Whitehead from recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. And if you're not actually registered with us or you're not part of our community, go and join. You're going to get an awesome little document to start with, and you're going to get some really cool stuff. You can get some really cool videos and other bits and pieces. If you want to speak to us right now, then go to our website. You can find an opportunity to book into our diary. If there's no spaces, come back in a month or so. If there is, awesome. Love to speak to you. But email's still cool, guys. Email still works if you use it strategically. 4 points of failure, 3 key drivers, the 3 T's. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.